Hi, everyone. This is Kim with Cowgirl Biz, and we are back. This is Lexy here with us today from the Wild Horse Co. And there's another recording here on our YouTube channel where you're going to hear all about her story and how she got started in business. However, today's episode is all about some actual tips of what she does. So I'm going to let her start by introducing herself, and then we'll dig right in.
Hello, everyone. I am Lexy. I am the owner of the Wild Horse Co. I sell handmade Native American jewelry right here in Oklahoma.
Excellent. And we didn't talk about what you're wearing, what your necklace is.
Yes, so this is kind of like a special piece. One of my artists got some really cool Nevada turquoise, and it's not super hard to get, but to find like a lot of matching it kind of is. And so he had made 2 necklaces and sent me one as a little gift. So I love it.
Okay, so what are you going to show us today?
Okay, so today I'm going to give you guys kind of a brief overview to make sure that even if you're using a Shopify theme that you don't have built out all the way, I'm going to show you how to use specific products to integrate all of your SEO, to help your functionality on Google searching, and just kind of the specific things that you need to make sure you have in your website for ADA compliance.
Great.
So this is kind of an item I talked about in the earlier video. This was a product I would say really pushed me to see how great SEO can work. And so when I originally created this product, I just kind of went through all the basics, everything I do with the products. And then I realized that because of all of this, we were pulling on the third page or the first page of Google. We were the third result for this product. And so pushed a lot of organic traffic to our business. So I'm going to show you guys really quickly things you can do to kind of help get up there on the first page of Google. So when you create a new product in Shopify, you have right here the title. And so this needs to be pretty specific to whatever you're showcasing. So this title is when someone is searching on Google, this is what Google uses to push those results. So for these, they're sterling silver pearl bow necklaces. If you're posting in like a boutique and you're using clothing, you might put like floral printed short sleeve cardigan, or, just really specific results. Because when I go over in Google in a second and I show you, you're going to want to know how that's pulling these analytics on Google. And so here's your description category. So the really nice thing about Shopify is it has AI built in. You can click this little generate text button. You can tell AI what you want your description to say. You can set the tone to different things. I like to keep mine playful. Jewelry is fun, and it should be fun. And so product descriptions should always have these things right here. You want your main title. This is what shows up when someone goes on Google. They click the link and the product shows up. So this is your first main title. Then you have your mini title. So Shopify loves to do something fun where it showcases the product with the big product description here. But then once you click in, there's kind of like the title up top, there's your photo, and then you also need to have a mini title. So the best thing I can tell you guys to do is create a draft product and basically put in like large title, small title, description. Keep like a basic template you can just copy and paste. It makes things so much faster in the long run. So this is where that AI integration comes in. You can write your own kind of funky little unique product messaging. I do use AI from time to time if I'm having trouble coming up with words, But basically, this just kind of gives your customer a description of the item. So for the pearl necklaces, I just said they're sterling silver pearls, accentuated with turquoise beads. You can add flair to an outfit. It's a unique, playful element. You don't have to get too specific here, just kind of discuss the product. Maybe your customers are wondering if this is something they could wear to a gala, or is it fun for date night? Can they wear it while they're riding their horse, or anything like that? It can be short and sweet. 1 to 3 sentences is perfect use here for that. And this space is what I like to call how to get more items added to your cart. So this section, it's not necessary. I like to do it because a lot of times what I notice with my customers is they want to match. They don't want to have to go search 5 different products and wonder, is that all going to look good together? So what I do here is I will go in. If I know a product has something that matches, I will put, shop the matching X here. So you can highlight this, you can link it, you do the insert link, you will go into Shopify, you will find the product that you want to link, you'll click the, website link up there, you put it in. This is your alt text, very, very, very important. So whenever someone is on your website, ADA compliance is a really big thing. Maybe someone's on your website and they're colorblind. Well, ADA compliance says if you have an alt text and you tell the person, this is a red necklace, if they think that necklace looks yellow, they're going to know by reading the alt text that it's actually red. So alt text is important for SEO, but it's very, very important for ADA compliance, which prevents people from suing you. And so your alt text can be super simple. For this one, I think we used silver and turquoise pearl necklace. Just tell someone if they're hovering over this on the website, which I'll show you guys, it lets them see without having to completely click into the link what it is. Next important details are always size, material, colors, anything that you want to pull when someone is searching Google. So someone could go on Google and type in 18-inch pearl necklaces. Well, guess what? This says 18-inch and this says graduated pearl. They're going to be able to push my results up higher just from having those keywords in there. That is the one thing with your descriptions is we call them ding words when we're building out our website products. But basically you want to know if you put that word in there, how specific is Google going to use it to push it? Well, in my industry, a lot of stuff is niche. So depending on what other businesses I'm competing with, using these ding words can really push your results higher, but it also separates the difference in someone searching for costume jewelry and someone searching for fine jewelry, especially people who do leather products. It could be the difference in someone finding a true leather item or faux leather. So these are just really important in determining, how is Google going to provide these details to someone searching? So I keep it short and simple on these. Bullet points work great. Just saying the length, the different pearls, you can get it in turquoise or silver. State the link here, let my customers know. And then materials in my industry is very important. I only sell sterling silver, copper, or gold jewelry. And so, this is also another thing that helps push your Google results. Lastly, this isn't technically super necessary, but it definitely helps SEO. So on here, I make sure every product has our shipping on it, just because people can get on my website and they're shopping and maybe they didn't go look at my shipping policy. So maybe they think I ship next day, but it's actually 1 to 3 business days. And so when you set your shipping policy in your Shopify, you can copy and paste this here. And then I like to take where it says shipping here, I link it up to my actual shipping policy. So that way, maybe if someone needs to order a gift, this happens a lot on Mother's Day and Valentine's Day. these husbands are emailing me and they're like, oh my gosh, we just ordered something for our wife. Can it get here next day? And I'm like, well, did you choose next day? And they're like, no. So they can go to the shipping policy. They can see if you didn't get a desired shipping, or if you have questions, send us an email. And that's where I can help them, if we need to switch it to overnight, if we need to ship priority, that kind of thing. And this is also another legality side. So I've seen businesses be sued because they didn't have a shipping policy, and maybe a customer thought it shipped the next day and it shipped priority. Well, then it didn't. It shipped in 3 days and it shipped ground. And so the customer didn't get the product for 10 days and they've sued the business because it wasn't on the website. So it's super easy. Like I said, if you make the template, this stuff is already in there. It's always linked. You don't have to go back and do this every time. But it is something that does need to be, especially if you're e-commerce, on there. And then I just like to link new arrivals for fun in case someone found this by searching on Google and they're like, well, I don't really know how to shop your website. They can automatically click new arrivals and it will take them there. Next thing is media. So when you upload your pictures, Shopify is super easy for this. So I don't specifically name my images. You can if you need to keep better track of it. Like maybe you're selling a shirt and it has 5 different colors. Then you could put the name of the shirt dash the color. It really doesn't pull up for a customer that I don't have them named, so that's not a huge deal. This, however, is the alt text description. That is very, very important, and I'll show you when you hover over these images. So my alt text, I always put the product. I always put that it's from the Wild Horse Co. I always put if it's women's, men's, unisex, kids. And then I state again, that it's Native American jewelry and I'm in Washington. You can kind of use different alt text. Like maybe if you're selling clothing, you need to alt text size, or you need to say if it's plus size or regular size. A quick Shopify search can tell you how to distinctly make sure your alt text is appropriate for what people might be looking for. I think all of these have, the same alt text. You can do different alt text, but really it's the same unless, like I said, maybe you have a bunch of different products under one specific thing. And so the next important thing is meta fields. So I have 2 variants on these. There's sterling and then there's sterling and turquoise. So what you do is you'll come down here at the bottom. Shopify will do suggested meta fields, which are these. So I clicked accept all. So based off what I typed in up in the description, Shopify knew that there was silver in there, the jewelry was sterling silver, it's a fine jewelry, and that it's a beaded type of necklace. There's specific integrations with these based off of what Shopify theme you use. Like if you're only selling clothing, then you don't need some of these. But it's always important to make sure every color is linked. You can make new colors, you can do prints, but this is the first thing that Google uses to push those results up. So if someone's typing pearl necklace, or they're typing turquoise pearl necklace, Google's going to see, okay, well, they've said that this is silver and that it has turquoise. So we're going to push that up to the top. Jewelry material, like I said, is always important, especially for my industry because there's a lot of fox jewelry on the market. And so letting my customers know that the product is either sterling, it's copper, or it's gold. You can add different products here, acrylic. So if you're selling, plastic, or maybe you're selling, like I said, leather products, whatever it is, make sure you do your best to find the material in there. That's also another thing I've noticed, especially with clothing, is maybe people are shopping for cotton, or maybe they're shopping for organic. That's going to pull those results up to the top as well. Age groups on these, I don't always do age groups on mine, but for the most part, it's adults. You can do all ages. There's teens, there's, baby, kid, newborn. Universal likely means anybody can use it. There's no bracelet on this one, so don't have that design. Jewelry type, like I said, I use fine jewelry. There's different categories here. So if you're selling clothing, you can put, is it a higher grade linen and is it 100% cotton? There's a ton of different meta fields from this spot down. Necklace design, I like to keep mine pretty simple. It's either a bar, it's a strand, a choker. You know, these are beaded, so I put beaded on there. Target gender for these is going to be female. You can do male, unisex. Like I said, you can even add things. I don't ever really add things to the gender. I don't know if you need to target like maybe younger female. I'm not sure. That's kind of outside of the realm of what I sell. And then here is the last specific thing. So over in your Shopify settings, under product meta fields, you have what you can make your categories out of. So I sell jewelry. All of my categories are either, what's the type? Is it earring, ring, bracelet, necklace? And then what's the stone? Does it have pink conch? Does it have spiny oyster? Does it have turquoise? Does it have pearls? What does it have in it? And so that is the section where I do this. So by inputting the product meta fields for the stones, when you scroll back up here, you can see my collections. So all of my collections are automated. It's the easiest way to make your Shopify functional. So just by clicking those two stones, it's automatically put this product in the sterling pearl category. It's put it in necklaces. It's a new arrival. And I have specific collections for pricing. So my smart collection for $250 and under says that you can, let me click into that and show you guys if I can. It will basically show you, okay, so this is how you automate those collections. You can make a new collection, you can click automated, then you come in here and you set the conditions. So for my $250 and under collection, the price has to be less than 250 cents, and it has to be greater than 100. These are things I don't want in there, but you can see I didn't have to go in and automatically add any of these to this collection. They all got put in there because the pricing was under that specific amount. So that just makes the overall accessibility, especially if you're like me and you're putting thousands of products online, you know, in a year. You don't want to have to manually go in and enter each one. And then tags is another fun thing you can use. We tag products as well, just so it also imports them into collections. So say for some reason my automatic necklace collection wasn't necessarily pulling these products in, adding the tag also pulls it into that. So that's kind of the short and sweet on this. I do want to pull it up really quick though, so I can show you guys just the alt text. So here is what it looks like when someone is shopping my website. So right here is that big title I was telling you about. And then look, what do you see? No product description, nothing else. It's because you have to scroll all the way down and then Shopify publishes it. This is why you might need to state your big titles again, because when you're especially mobile Shopify, this all goes away. It's just one long centerpiece. So when someone's up here, they're like, okay, well, that was a sterling pearl bow necklace. Well, then by the time they get down here, they might be like, what was that again? And then they're back here, you know, seeing all of those titles. Here's what I was saying about the shipping policy. Automatically clicks into my shipping policy, so no one has any questions about it. It's right there. Same thing with the new arrivals. Pulls up, here's new arrivals. Last thing is it automatically always links the shipping, the returns. You can ask a question here. Hovering over though, right here, you can see down in the bottom left corner, that's where it's going to give alt text too. So it pulls it. Let me see. It's kind of funky. There it is. It says inspired sterling silver bow earrings. You can click that. Okay, it doesn't pull up. I might have those abandoned on here, but basically that just helps, if people are shopping, they can see that description right there on these. Okay, so this is why it is important to do all of this. I'm going to show you guys now. This is a free thing that you can do. I like to do this with every product I have just to see, okay, is my SEO working? Is my meta field specific? Is my image unique enough that if someone sees this picture, maybe they see this picture on Instagram, but they can't find my Facebook or they don't see my website, they might save this picture and they're image searching it on Google. So you can do this. Let's see, add this bow necklace, and look, first product that comes up on the image search is me. They can click into that and boom, they're right to the product. So you can tell.
Okay, good. Just let's stay here for just 1 second. So what did you do? You clicked on the lens?
So what you do, yes, is you click on the lens, you can upload a file.
Right.
It's really easy from iPhone, which is what I use it for a lot, but drop the image in here. Google, you can set parameters. So say like, this product has a super unique background like these. You want to get that whole background. Like here's a blue background, here's a wood. You want to get the full background in there. And so you can see it pulls up the turquoise and it pulls up the silver. But like, see, these people are using similar necklace display. Background's a little unique here, but if someone doesn't pull this image all the way up, they're not going to see that this is where it's at.
Okay. And why do you do this reverse image search?
So I do this a lot of time to see where these are pulling on Google. So if I put an image in here and let's just say I'm scrolling, where's my product? Why it's not pulling up on here? Then I need to go back to the website and I need to look, okay, did I accidentally forget to put a color in? Did I use a background that's too specific? Like, let's see, let's just try this one, for instance, and see if this works because this background isn't super unique. Oh, actually, I guess it is because look, it's right here. So that means my SEO is functioning properly. If you're using a white or a solid black background and it's still popping up, you've utilized SEO correctly on here. This also, the most important thing here is if you didn't create a Google business and you don't have all your product links in, it's probably going to push you maybe a little further down here. Let me show you what I mean by that really quick. So if no one's even searching an image, if they're just coming over here and they're like, Navajo pearl bow necklace. Okay, well, yikes, I don't see it. But it's because it's not supposed to be called Navajo pearl. Let's see. But then you can kind of see like, okay, what is it pulling? Like, these all look like this is imitation jewelry. So sometimes with these, it has to be super specific. This is why I like using image searching, because even if it's not pulling up here, because Google likes to do this weird thing where it, like if you have, for instance, these bow necklaces, I like to go in every few months and change the description up a little bit because Google loves to see product descriptions updated frequently, where like some products, if I've never updated the description, they might pull on the 3rd or 4th page, where you can see just by typing that in. Obviously, you have all these images, which some people have their set where that doesn't show up. But if you're scrolling down, boom, second. Nice. And then you're scrolling here, boom, images right here. Because this more product section and these for sure show up. If you're like me and you usually have this turned off where you don't want sponsored or related products, you can get rid of all of this and then it's automatically just pulling these up. So this is what I was kind of saying, like, see how it says made with sterling silver pearls accentuated with turquoise beads? that's the first line of my description that I made using AI. And it's only pulling that because of how specific those searches. So if I was searching like pink conch silver pearls, as long as that's in that description, Google automatically pushes that up. Let me see if I can show you one really quick that might not have a good, let's go to like the 5th page of Google. Okay, so like this business. Here is, you know, they obviously have this whole description, but it's not specific enough keywords that it's pulling them on the front page of Google. So that's why I like to kind of go in and search products often, especially if it's a product I have multiple of and I want to sell a lot of it, because I image search a ton of stuff. Like if I'm looking for a shirt, maybe I seen you wear a shirt at NFR, Kim, and I'm like, hey, that's so cute. I'm like, let me get on Google and see. And so that's like, because I've always used Google image search. Like I've used it for a ton of stuff. And so when I started doing this, I was like, okay, well, people are like me, and there probably are people like me who are finding this image who knows where. Maybe they found it on Pinterest and they didn't click the link, or their phone accidentally exited the app and they can't find it again. If they saved the image, you know, they're coming in here and they're seeing. So backgrounds, like I said, important. You know, this one's linking an Instagram, this one's linking a Facebook. So you never know if Google's going to specifically link your website, if it's going to link, you know, eBay. But as long as you have unique background, you've came over here, you've gotten your alt text, a really good, nice, long product description, it should, for the most part, push it up there. And then, you know, like I said, whether they're image searching or text searching, maybe you look and see, maybe you go back to where I was text searching that and you're like, okay, well, this business is first. Well, what did they put in their description? You know, like they have sterling silver pearl bow tie necklace. So maybe you go back and you add bow tie necklace to yours, which is where the SEMrush thing kind of is nice to see what of those keywords are triggering for sure.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us today. And thank you, Lexy, for sharing these tips. I'm excited to have some of our audience and our businesses try some of these and then regroup in a few months and have, maybe we do like a Zoom call and everybody's sharing, look how far I moved up in Google. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, that would be great.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Chasing rain.